Alright, I got a video for you today. I have a tap here going into my water heater, and it had started to leak through the threads. Now sometimes you can take them apart and replace parts and fix it. In this case I don't seem to be able to do that. So I'm just gonna get rid of this thing and replace it with a PEX tap. So what you're gonna need to do this project is a PEX shut off. So just a nice simple thing to turn on and off. And now in a perfect world, I will be able just to cut this out, cut it off top and bottom, and just slide that in. Now in my situation, this tap's going to be too big, or I guess you could say this is going to be too small, it won't quite fit. So unfortunately it means I need to buy another coupler, so I've just got a normal, straight Sharkbite coupler. And so I'll show you what that looks like. In my case here, they're 3/4 of an inch, so that just looks like this. And I just needed to buy some PEX pipe. So I was able to get this from Home Depot just in a 5-foot length. You don't need to buy 100 feet or anything. So what it's going to look like when it's done is I'm going to have the coupler here, and then the blue pipe, and then this. So it's going to look a bit funky, but it should be a quick fix to repair this tap without needing to know how to solder or whatever all that plumbing stuff is called, because I'm not a plumber. Alright, let's do this. Oh, and one other thing I forgot is you are going to need a pipe cutter. You could possibly just use a hacksaw and cut it, but with the Sharkbite it is important that you get a nice a nice clean straight cut. So I'm going to use just a cheap little pipe cutter to make my cuts. Alright, so I've cut a little piece of PEX, and what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to join this together. So I got basically, so I end up with one piece. So you'll notice one end of this is bigger, and that's called the slip end. So you're going to use that, then like give yourself some space to wiggle up and down. I don't know how to put it eloquently, but just to you slide it on and get it back in and seal the end. So don't put that on there. So you're gonna put this. Get that nice and snug there. Put this on this end. You're gonna push it on. And so basically it's got one hunkin' piece there. It looks kind of unorthodox, but should do for a DIYer. Okay. So before you cut this, you're obviously going to want to turn your water off, so that once you start to cut, you don't have a geyser coming out at your face. And you're going to want to cut it, obviously, above any of the, I don't know what it's called, I want to say welding. I know it's not called welding. And I apologize if you continue to hear my furnace. It is it's really cold. It's like minus 20 degrees Celsius today, so there's a lot of furnace stuff going on. So, fun development. Guess what? My pipe cutter, I can't actually use it to cut around this because it's hitting the wall, so I'm gonna have to use a hacksaw. Just want to make sure that you get it as square as you can. Nice straight cut. Straight cut. That's right, Bull. Before you make your second cut, you're obviously going to want to know where to cut it, so you don't have to cut it more than once. So what I will do, take my tape measure and see what my measurement is. And so basically what's going to happen is the pipe, you want the pipe to come in 1 inch on both ends.
Okay.
So I will measure this. In my case, it actually works out to 7 inches. So 7 minus 2 inches, an inch on each end. 5 inches, so that's the length of the gap I'm going to need in here. And in my case, I got a big bit of wiggle room too, because now that it's cut, it can flex a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to like flex your pipes like crazy, but I do have a bit of space there. So I will try to cut a 5-inch gap, and maybe I will just measure that just to make sure that what I have in my head is actually correct. So if I cut it 5 inches, it'll be here, right here, and then we got an inch And in my case, if I'm wrong, I just got a tiny little piece of blue pipe. I can pull it apart, add a longer blue pipe. It's cheap. So I will cut the bottom of this off. And again, just to reiterate, make sure you cut below any of the plumbing welds. Sorry, I don't remember what it's called. I wish I knew, but right now I can't think of it. I know my camera's far away, but you'll see. You want it nice and clean, because it's really important that it's a nice clean surface so that the Sharkbites make good attachment. Alright, so I've got the pieces cut off top and bottom. I'm just going to take some sandpaper and just kind of lightly try to clean up the edges. It's a little rough since I ended up using my hacksaw as opposed to the pipe cleaner that I bought specifically for this project. So that was a fail. Oh well. This is not probably how professionals would do it, but for a homeowner quick fix, I think this will work fine. And I am aware, for those of you in the comments, that Sharkbites, a lot of people are skeptical to put these in behind walls where they can't be easily accessed. And I have not used them behind a wall myself either. But for somewhere like this, if it were to leak, you could see it, you could easily get to it, and there's lots of people really believe in them too. That scared me, and that they hold up just fine. One thing I forgot to mention is you are probably going to want a towel nearby, just because you may get some water coming up from your water heater, and if you do get some back pressure coming up, you can use the. This might not be really recommended, but you can use. Sorry, I'm trying to move my tripod. You can use the pressure release valve on it to release some water out of the tank. It might help at least temporarily. Anyway, so now we are ready to basically put this bad boy on and call it a day. It's a good idea when you're using these Sharkbites just to measure, put a mark on the pipes at 1 inch, just so that you know when you've got them fully inserted. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just using pencil here. I'll mark at 1 inch. That way, push them on, I know that I've got them in far enough. So again, on here now, this big clunker, we got it's called the slip end. So we'll be able to go up past the 1 inch, over onto the bottom, and then down, leaving us hopefully with an inch of connection at both ends. So hopefully that makes sense. And this Sharkbite fitting, the tap that is, comes with the quick release thing to allow you to pull it off after you've slid it on. And it might take some elbow grease. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to release something. Release the top. Eerie. I'm not very good with this release thing. Oh. So don't freak out if you have to wrestle with it, as you can see. Oh. So do I. So that one went in all the way. So there you go. Now I got on, off, on, off. And that's how you use a Sharkbite fitting. I'll just pop my camera up just to show you what the finished product looks like. So we've got the adapter and the tap and a wee little bit of pipe in between, and you can obviously use a longer section of there. There you go. I'm sure professional plumbers would probably not do it this way, but for a homeowner, hopefully this will get you going. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your plumbing products. Isn't plumbing awesome?